Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about D&D and prom.
Yes, again.
And bake-offs and,
Coffee shops.
Coffee shop adventures. Yeah, so this is coming from the gamer, of course. And this is the audience that WotC has been selling to. Now, is that still going to be the case? I don't know. Because it does seem like they're walking back some of the DEI stuff. But for the last 10 years or so, this has been the target audience for Dungeons & Dragons. Basically, people who want to role play slice of life campaign adventures where there's very little killing and it's just about role playing as a fantasy person.
Unless your outfit is slay.
Right.
Lower the stakes for a slice of life campaign. Focus on personal conflict over saving the world. So it's like if your game was a soap opera?
Pretty much, yeah. You're just LARPing as your OC. So and that's what a lot of people now think D&D is. They think it's just LARPing as your OC.
Didn't they try this with the female Doctor Who and it didn't work?
It did. Yeah, it did not work. Yeah. So
no. It's like, so why are they doing it with D&D?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Before we get into any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you will get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Go out to clownfishminus.com, help support the reef, pick up some merchandise, and also join our Plus Club. And you can join the Plus Club on YouTube and locals as well. So we've been talking a lot about the new audience, the NU audience for D&D, and it was very clear with the new Players Handbook that they were going for a certain demographic. I mean, we've got gay dwarf bakers making muffins for their friends. I don't remember that.
I think hipster baristas is better, but yes.
Hipster baristas.
You don't know that they're gay. You don't know that.
No, they've got each other's beards on their arms.
But oh, yeah. That's
see that?
Weird. However, I like the cat. What if you change your hairstyle?
That's a good question.
It's like when you get or if you break up, it's like when you get like someone like your girlfriend's name tattooed on you and then you break up and then it's like, well, what do I do now?
This guy's got a man bun and he's baking buns and he's rubbing buns.
Apparently.
So anyway, yeah, we know that they were kind of going in this direction. Same with the Orcs. The Orcs are kinder, gentler Orcs that are now Mexican stereotypes instead of black people or whatever.
I like this. Add rivals to challenge your players. What is this like? Oh my God, it's a love triangle.
Yes,
create competition and ambition for role play. I better get the highest grade in the class.
What kind of role play are we talking about?
I know, right?
Look, I want to reiterate. You want to play the game this way. Once you buy that game, it's your game. You can play it however the hell you want to play it. But the fact that Wizards has been leaning into this demographic, they should have honestly created another system because it's no longer Dungeons and Dragons.
Right. Incorporate new rules like schoolwork outcomes or customer maintenance for non-combat challenges.
I can't with this. Okay, so this is coming from the gamer. This is the same website that said you should boycott Hogwarts Legacy because of J.K. Rowling, and look how that turned out. 27 million, 28 million copies later. Dungeons & Dragons is traditionally a high fantasy adventure with fire-breathing dragons or undead wizards causing chaos while the party uses their might to save the world. Yes, using just the rule system of D&D and a few tweaks, you can create all kinds of campaigns and unusual settings fit for more casual players or veterans looking for something new.
Mm-hmm. That's how it starts. Next thing you know, you got matching bun tattoos.
Oh my God. Slice of life campaigns take the heroic fantasy of D&D and make the conflicts more personal and social, enhancing the roleplay aspects of the game while reducing the need to swing swords. Mm-hmm. That's not the sword I'm looking for. Is it a short sword or a long sword or a broadsword? While it's a valid way to play D&D, there are more than a handful of necessary changes and considerations to get the most out of this style of campaign.
I just can't. Okay. Hey,
lower the stakes. Lower the
standards.
Lower the standards. Lower expectations.
I know, right?
The main aspect of a slice of life campaign is a simplified story with much less deadly stakes than your typical high fantasy game. Instead of obtaining powerful relics to prevent a lich from covering the world in darkness, your players might instead be figuring out how to stop the carnival from going out of business.
Oh my God, So did Rudolph once. Rudolph
he did,
and
yeah. That was
Frosty.
Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July, the best, worst Christmas special ever. Okay, deep breath. This also means there shouldn't be any character deaths. And knowing this, your players will craft their backstories and characters in a way that they know won't be torched halfway through. There should still be a chance for failure, but no lives should be at risk. Only livelihoods.
But some people kill themselves if their livelihoods are gone.
Yeah, right. Oh, the carnival went out of business. I can't pay my magical mortgage. I'm going to fucking blow my brains out.
Say roll a 1 and you kill yourself.
Roll a 1 and you kill yourself.
Coffee shop's getting attacked by a Karen dragon. Roll a 1 and Karen's going to trash your coffee shop.
Oh my God. Failure in slice of life can be more intimidating than traditional high fantasy, whereas
Not really.
Attempting to make up with a friend can be harder than slaying a gelatinous cube.
I can't. Or you can just have real friends, you know.
You could try real friends. Yeah. Add rivals. The roleplay aspect is central to slice of life, and the best way to challenge your players is to give them rivals that are always in competition with each other. This could be a simple reflection of the party with snarkier attitudes and a strong ambition. This rival could also be a single person who will have to otherwise be fairly powerful to actually give 4+ players a challenge to overcome. While they might not be the central antagonist to the campaign, they should give your players something to overcome or race against. Whiteness. Maleness.
This is adapt pre-written campaigns. How long does this thing go on for?
It goes on. Oh, so it's basically, oh my God, you're bringing Saltmarsh into this? Hell no. Anyway,
they do.
So they're like, you can take Ravenloft and you can make a slice of life campaign. Yeah, sure you
why?
can. Oh God! Incorporate new rules with lowered stakes and lowered expectations comes less focus on combat, and it can feel like you're taking away some of the mechanics of the game. So you have to role play. In a school campaign, you can add new rules. You can be making players roll to determine the outcomes of their schoolwork and adjust the bonuses based on their activity. When running a business, you can add rules to maintain or lose customers and what magical items in stock cause chaos that week.
So literally they want to make campaigns where you role play going to school or your store, of whether your store is successful or not. Or you could just, go to school, or you could just go to an after school job and live the real life experience. Neo's trying not to lose it right now. He's just
this is no longer D&D. It's just like D&D, but you just change everything. And I'm like, well, then it's not D&D.
It is D&D. It's a disaster and disappointment.
Okay. Oh, well, here we go. Give your NPCs more depth. More so than your typical high fantasy game, a slice of life campaign will have your players interacting with NPCs much more frequently and almost under a microscope. You will want to make sure you understand their motivations and give important NPCs a backstory of their own. More OCs.
This reminds me of the joke videos people do about playing these campaigns. And the one was about, why don't they ever talk about when their characters go poop? And they haven't gone poop the entire quest. And I'm like, what? And I mean, it's a joke. They're doing it as a joke, but it's not a joke. These people, and they'll probably want to join each other in the bathroom.
When I was a kid, I always wondered why. When I was a young lad, I always wondered why there were no bathrooms in Star Wars. I was kind of like, does the Millennium Falcon have a toilet? Because I imagine they have to go to the bathroom. I don't know. It's just a weird thought I had as a kid.
As a kid was my Barbie toilet. So, I get it.
Does Vader poop? That thought had actually crossed my mind before. I'm like, well, he's half robot. Does he poop? I don't know.
If he's constipated, how are you going to tell? This is a
force that turd out. Use the force. Okay. They said, you have to backstab each other and have some dramatic twists. So here's the thing. These images are actually coming from the source books. They're coming from the source books. Reduce combat. Although the rules for D&D heavily focus on the rules and options for combat because it came out of literal wargaming. That's where D&D came from originally. Your players will not be having 6 to 8 encounters per day and will often go an entire session without swinging a sword. At least not that kind. This isn't a bug, but a feature of slice of life campaigns, allowing your players to focus on other mechanics or role playing. This will also give spells that are often overlooked a second chance. So you can use the Druid Craft in Greece. They become much less niche. Consider granting spell scrolls and magic items and non-combat abilities or add curses. Blah, 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 blah.
Or you can just go LARPing.
That's exactly what this is. A lot of players.
Why bother with this? Just don't LARP it out.
Start low.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it can go much lower than my expectations right now.
A slice of life campaign can be quickly overrun by players with access to 5th and 6th level spells, which makes the average adventurer NPC weak to their overwhelming abilities. Players should start level 1 and leveling should take almost twice as long as usual.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
You don't want to
just drag this out longer.
You don't want to take the adventure to level 20, do you?
You guys, you got to make sure that you go slow so you can stay the course the whole time.
How the hell?
It's going to take twice as long, and you better hold in the whole time.
How do you reach level 20 by baking cookies and shit and dating and fucking? I mean, how do you? I'm a level 20 necro romancer.
How do you do with school? I'm level 20 because of school assignments.
Number 1 rule is include mysteries. Slice of life campaigns rarely allow your players to show off their abilities and spells, giving them a mystery to solve. Now it's fucking Scooby-Doo. A mystery to solve.
There's a comma.
Can allow them to show off what their characters can do. These are usually low-stakes adventures, which lead to important clues that could reveal deep truths about familiar NPCs or locations. What the?
Okay, the mystery thing's kind of fun, but you can still do that and still, not make it lame.
This is where we're at, guys. You want to know. You want to know why D&D, why tabletop is in the state that it's in right now. They have spent the last 10 years catering to these kinds of players. And look, there's nothing wrong with this. If you want to play that kind of game, that's fine. But instead of making it the exception to the norm, they've made it the norm, right? This is what people expect. And this is kind of the critical role effect, the Mercer effect, they call it. It's everybody thinks that D&D is supposed to be very theatrical and not really a game. It's just a bunch of friends sitting around the table LARPing as their OCs.
It's a murder mystery.
It's a murder party mystery. Nobody dies. Nobody gets seriously hurt. And we've taken the game element out of it. And it's not my D&D. I'm sorry. It's not my D&D.
That's what they're probably like, that's right. Isn't you bigot?
I guess I'm a bigot then.
Roll your dice to see what gender you are. 20-sided die.
Oh my God. So this is literally like one giant cutscene in a video game with no game. And there are people that focus on that shit. They're like, oh, I'm a story consultant because the story to the game is the most important thing. Is it? I thought the game was the most important thing, and the story is kind of like, okay, the story gets you into it, whatever, but the game has to be good. The game part of it, where the person interacts with the world, that part has to be.
Well, that's what they're doing. They're interacting more with the individual people than the world and the swords. But I'm sure there are lots of swords, just not that kind of swords.
Oh my God! All right, let's wrap this up. This is
And when he pulled his sword from King Arthur's stones,
he unsheathed it. Oh no! I hope I don't get a disease.
Roll the dice to see. That's your challenge. You have to screw all these people and not get sick.
Does my
and then
sword
go big
not? Roll the dice. Oh, you rolled a 1. It doesn't fit. Sorry. You have to use the Druid Craft of Greece to make it fit. Get some experience for that. All right, are we gonna wrap this up? I can't with this game. All right, let's wrap it up, guys. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.